Hello, everyone. We are going to get started soon in just a few moments. So, hopefully, you've got your sound turned up and raring to go. I'm so excited because guess what? Creative Warriors is open right now. This is day 2, and we are only open for another couple of days. So I'm really hoping that if you were thinking about becoming a creative warrior, then you will jump in soon. I'm so excited. I just got off an amazing Zoom with our creative warriors and welcomed our new members. So hopefully you'll be joining us inside of the membership as well. So once again, make sure your sound is turned up and we will get started in just a moment. I'm actually going to tell you a bit about my story, my backstory, and how I ended up doing what I do, how I ended up selling paintings and becoming an art business coach to help other artists. So, want to let you know that this video has been pre-recorded, but I will be answering your comments in real time. So, go ahead and ask me anything. And if you are seeing the recording of this, well, this is pre-recorded, but I'm releasing it as a premiere, basically. But if you're watching after the premiere, you still can go ahead and ask whatever you want in the comment section or join in the conversation. I do check these intermittently throughout the day so I can get back to you. Once again, Creative Warriors is open right now. If you're like, what is Creative Warriors? It's a membership that I set up to teach artists how to market their paintings online organically using social media, because I found success doing this myself and I love helping artists so that they can do the same. All right. So I'm going to tell you a bit about my story now. And, you can get to know me a little bit more and discover how I ended up doing what I do. Okay. First off, I just want to tell you a little bit about my story so that, you can connect with me a little bit more and I can let you know kind of who I am and what I do, right? So I am an artist as well as an entrepreneur, right? Ever since I was little, I used to love doing anything creative, artsy, creative, crafty, that kind of stuff. And I also had a love for business, marketing especially, which is kind of weird because usually creative people aren't really that interested in business and marketing. But, I have this, not everyone, some of you are just like that. But I found throughout the years that most people who are creative are just very tuned in and into their creativity, and they don't really want to bother with the business end of things, and they don't really understand it, or it's a pain in their butt. They wish they had somebody to help them, all that stuff, right? As well as I did when I first started out, for sure. So right here, I'm this screen is just showing you throughout my life intermittently I had promoted myself as an artist, and I did art shows, craft shows. I was in the art association. I hosted my own shows, like arts and craft shows like we just did virtually, but I did those in person. Did basically all kinds of different things. Hung pieces in businesses, things like that, right? So if you are a creative person as well, may that may ring true to you too, right? So this was always my passion, but from a young age, I always heard, and I'm from Maine, okay, originally. So this is what I heard: you don't want to be a starving artist. You better get something under your belt so you can, make some money. So anyway, that's what I heard over and over. You gotta get a degree in something. And even though, yes, you can get an art degree, I don't have one, though. I've never went to school for art, never went to school for business, but I'm living proof that you can do art as a business. And I have been successfully selling my paintings online and gaining collectors for my work for 3 years consecutively now. I'm not rich, but I'm not starving. I pay my mortgage and my bills every single month with my art income alone. I do. My husband's awesome. And yes, he works too, but I always want to work because I'm just that kind of person. I'm a workaholic and I always want to be helping out with whatever I can help out with, right? So, even when I heard you don't want to be a starving artist, it really, once you hear that so many times, you like start to believe it, right? And it really hurt my feelings because I wanted to be an artist and I want to make money at art because that's, what my passion was. But after hearing it so many times, I ended up fast forwarding here. I got my cosmetology license and I was a cosmetologist for 27 years. I did that intermittently too because, hey, it wasn't my biggest passion. I did numerous businesses. I started all kinds of businesses. Most of them failed, but I had some that did pretty well. Some I did good at. One was a hair salon, by the way. So the reason I believe that so many of those businesses of mine failed because it wasn't what I wanted to do. It wasn't my passion, right? You got to be passionate about something if you want to make it work. And I just had this dual thing going on in my mind. Like I want to do art, but I don't want to be a starving artist. So I better use my business skills for some other type of business, which looking back, I don't regret because I learned a whole lot along the way, right? And I learned a whole lot along the way. So I had here's a little picture here of my hair salon in the early years, right? And I was still doing my art intermittently on the side. I had this salon in my house for a little while, and then it grew to 7 employees, and I moved to Union Ave in my city. And I was in a busy spot, and I had a booming, I had busy business. I was just busy, busy, busy. And I did not really have a whole lot of time to paint or draw or create at this time. I did a little bit, but you know, as you know, if you own a business yourself, or if you have in the past, being a business owner and being a boss, you wear many, many hats, and especially a brick and mortar business. Well, I mean, any type of business, but the brick and mortar business that I had, it was very exhausting. You have to be there at a certain time. And I was always the first one there, last one to leave, things like that, right? So one day, my sweet friend Danielle, who you see here in the picture, she's so very awesome. I love you, Danny, if you're watching. One day, she was an employee of mine, and she still does my hair today. But she saw how stressed I was one day, right? She grabbed the color bowl from my hands because I was mixing it up. She grabbed it, she started mixing it up, and she looked at me and she's like, you need to go home and take a break. You need to go home and just relax for a couple of days. You taught us well. I can handle the shop for a couple of days. Just go relax. And, I really didn't want to do that because, I mean, I did, but I didn't because I had this like, oh my God, I got to be here feeling or everything is going to fall apart. But I was having an anxiety attack that day, and I have a bad back. So my back was spasming. I was having an anxiety attack at customers, employees, all this stuff. But I looked at her, and when she took that color bowl from my hand, and I said, okay, I'm going to do exactly that. You're right. I'm going to go home and take a break. So I went home and I did what any business owner would do with a bad back. I took a Flexerol and I passed out for like 8 hours. So don't get the wrong impression, people. Those are prescribed to me, and this was years ago. I do not take Flexerol unless, I'm about to go to the hospital. But I passed out for like I said, probably 8 hours. And when I got up, I felt a whole lot better. I was nice and relaxed, and I grabbed my drawing pad and my one of my dogs, who unfortunately has passed away now,
what a sweetheart. But he was sitting there. So I drew a portrait of him. And I drew a portrait of him, and then I took a picture of it, put it on social media. So then the next day when I got up and I'm getting ready to go into the salon, and I open up, I look at my phone, and I have 5 orders for portrait drawings. And I was like, whoa, that's cool. I mean, it was kind of surprising because I wasn't even trying to get portrait orders at that point. I was just busy cutting hair and taking care of my shop. But I thought that was cool, and it sparked a little something in me because I hadn't used my creativity in so long because I was busy, working my brick and mortar business that I wasn't completely thrilled upon, but I was doing it. So anyway, I'm very good at making long stories, so I'll try and cut to the chase here. So I did message these people back and I said, sure, no problem. I will complete this order for you. But as you know, I'm busy, so I'll do it intermittently, which I did. And then when I was done those 5 orders, magically I had 15 more orders, right? I mean, I was excited, but I was also so bummed out because there's no way I could do that and run the salon. It was hard enough to get the 5 orders done. So, after talking to my husband and really contemplating for a while, and I had the salon for 6 years, and I knew it wasn't my be all end all dream. I was proud of myself and my employees and all that, but I talked to Tim, and to make a long story short, I ended up closing the salon. And then I went to, I didn't have to go to work anywhere else, but I did get a part time waitress job at a Chinese restaurant. And I did that because, like I said, I like to work and I like to bring home the bacon as well. And to me, it wasn't a step down, even though I've been an entrepreneur. It was actually a break because I didn't have the employees, I didn't have the big overhead. I could just, be an employee for somebody else part time. And then on my other part time hours, I started completing those orders. And I started to build up my business because I knew I would use the waitress job as just a little stepping stone to just keep some money coming in and build up my art business online. I knew I wanted to do it online. I was done with the brick and mortar thing. I have a lot of anxiety and I get social anxiety. So for me, it was, a better avenue to go to work online. And as we all know, in this day and age, especially in this past year, right, a lot of people are online. So that's what I did. I did that. Here I am right here, brick and mortar to online business. August 1st, 2018. It was a great day for me because that was the day that I quit my job as a waitress and went all in 100% online with my art business. Here's a picture of my studio at that time years ago. You can still see there's like a hair salon chair in here. I was using what I had, right? Now I have this comfortable chair here I'm sitting in with my back massager, which is great. But this is my home studio, and I've moved my home studio around different places. But you don't need a big space to have a home studio. I still don't have a huge home studio. But anyway, then I started to work online, and over here on this photo, which is my new revised version of my collectors group, my VIP group. This is where I collect all of my wonderful people. And if any of you collectors of mine are on here, go ahead and comment and stuff. I would love to hear what you have to say. But you know what? I recorded everything along the way so that I could have it available to you. I knew that, if I figured out how to do this, somebody else is going to want to have this information because I know darn well I went down, I don't know how many rabbit holes online and just searching, how do I do this? How can I do that? How can I make this happen? How can I do, and learning tech, okay, tech stuff, like, oh gosh, who has an issue with tech? Like, I'm very techy now, pretty techy. But I was not in the beginning. I was old school typer, right? So I had to learn things. But I always wished that I had a mentor, or an art manager or an art coach, or some sort of art business help, right? But at that time, I did what I could. I did take some classes. I did take some courses. I read everything that I could. I jumped down, like I said, many, many rabbit holes, and I started figuring things out and doing things in a way that I found to be very productive, right?
Well, hopefully you liked my story. Hopefully you could connect with parts of my story. In the next clips, I'm just going to talk a little bit about Creative Warriors, like who's it for, who is it not for, and to just let you all know that we have an amazing group of artists who are super supportive. All right, here we go.
So now I do want to mention right here, this is my painting. You might have seen this one in the show. I'm going to stand up for you, and I'm not going to put up with crap. So no bad apples allowed. There's a big difference between a bad day and just being a mean person. Because if you get in there and you're a mean person, I hate to even have to say this, but I'm keeping this group um, very well scanned for bad apples. All right, because this is supposed to be a positive, helpful place, which it is so far, and I want to keep it that way. So, being a creative warrior, we are helpful, supportive, problem solvers, motivated, caring, and understanding. But yes, I would love for you guys to be a part of the community for sure. You can let me know if you have any questions at any time. I'm always a list maker, writing down, looking at my notebook, trying to make sure that I didn't forget to tell you guys anything. And if you're watching this on replay, that's fine too. You can go ahead and ask, and I will get back. Now, this basically, I do want to let you know who this is not for. Okay, for creative warriors here. It is not for someone who is not artistic or creative. It is not for someone that does not want to do any online stuff, because this is focused mostly around online creative businesses. You most certainly can use my teachings for in-person stuff as well, and I've done that, but it's mostly geared around being online. So, if you're not into that, then this wouldn't be for you. But if you are an artist, whether you're just starting out or whether you're a seasoned artist, whether you're better than me at drawing and painting, that doesn't even matter. Okay. There's so many different people that are out there that are waiting to see what you have to offer. You just need to find those people, and I'm going to help you do that. Okay. That's my specialty. I love business marketing. So anyway, I hope this has helped you out. I'm going to leave this on the replay for you for a while. And
all right, so go ahead and jump in. We would love to have you as a Creative Warrior member. There should be a link in or around here for you to sign up. If you don't see it, or a bit confused or whatever, just go ahead and ask me in the comment section, and I will come back and give that to you. Okay. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of